Hello classmates, good afternoon. I am Jan S. Abiota. I am sorry I'm not able to present to you this topic live because today we are celebrating the 7th birthday of my nephew. But nevertheless, I prepared this video to discuss to you the best practices on the Human Resources Development Office of the University of the Philippines. Now, the division of the University of the Philippines Human Resources Development Office is to create excellence in administrative support service. We are all aware that University of the Philippines upholds excellence in all aspect in their academic culture offerings as well as in their human resources management. The mission of the University of the Philippines is to provide responsive and excellent service in the development and administration of effective human resource management through implementation of rules and policies on recruitment, appointment, and separation process, personal benefits, trainings, skills and professional development, rationalized manpower and staffing pattern, monitoring of administrative and REPS performance, and management of personnel records and database system. So if you're going to observe the mission of the University of the Philippines Human Resources Development Office, uh, their function is multifaceted. It includes processes and procedure from hiring members of the faculty, administration and staff, as well as in the separation process of the employee from the university. On the next slide, I'll be showing to you the flow chart on the hiring and selection of applicants in the University of the Philippines. So, the process begins with posting of vacancy by the HR analyst. So, it also follows the process of the Civil Service Commission because certain process also applies in DepEd and of course in other local state colleges and universities. Now, after seeing the posting of the vacancy, the applicants may now submit their personal information sheet including all pertinent documents relative to the application of the vacant for the vacant position. Now, after receiving those pertinent documents, the analyst will evaluate the credentials, and then out of the credentials, the analyst will decide whether the applicant is qualified or not qualified. Now, if the applicant is not qualified for the position being applied, then the documents submitted by the applicant uh, will now be will proceed to an internal storage for future reference. While on the other hand, if the applicant is qualified for the position being applied, then the applicant will undergo an interview and then an scheduled examination. Now, after after taking the examination, then the result will tell whether the applicant passed or failed. Now, for the instance, if the applicant failed the examination, then the documents will proceed to internal storage for future references, while the successful applicant will be referred to the unit that needs people for the vacant position. Now, the following slides, I'll be showing to you the processes of the University of the Philippines Human Resources Development Office about certain requests relative to human resource management. Now for this slide, I am showing to you the recruitment and selection section procedure. This is for job application. So it follows 8 steps. Now you will see for in the entire process, now this document contains the certain steps that the applicant may actually undergo. And then of course the client, the service provider, and then the person responsible in processing the request, and then the duration of the activity, the required documents that should be submitted in the Office of the Human Resources Development, and of course, it also includes fees if it's applicable. But I will not explain to you anymore the entire process one by one, as this document is available on the website of the University of the Philippines. So that's step 1 to 4 for job application, and then step 5 to 8. So after processing the documents of the applicants, so the applicant will actually have to submit referral letters, matrix of the applicants, and the complete credentials of the applicants. Now, this is the entire process in processing a certificate of employment for an active employee. So this is for the appointment section. Now, at the end of the process, the applicant will receive the certificate of employment. Now, this is for the processing of service records for the benefits section. And lastly, processing of certificate of performance rating that is under monitoring and evaluation section. Now, all of the requests and documents that you wanted to request from this office have a certain process, and they have different duration of activity, as well as different request form for different requests. So this document is available on the website of the University of the Philippines. Now, the Office of the Human Resources Development of UP also have a feedback mechanism just to check whether they provide excellent service to their clientele. So they post this on their website and on the Office of the Human Resources Development. So here is the procedure. They would also like to make sure that they would get an update from their clients, and they would also like to know whether um, they satisfy their clients on the service they rendered to them. Now, this is one of the most striking part of their human resources management, the implementation of the guidelines of the University of the Philippines Merit Selection Plan. Now, what is the scope and coverage? The University of the Philippines Merit Selection Plan shall be consistently applied in the comparative evaluation of qualification of candidates for promotions, transfers, and other personal actions of administrative staff that require performance rating, training, and experience as basis for qualifications. Its criteria are not applicable in the assessment of qualifications of candidates for employment who do not have any formal work experience. So basically, the merit selection plan only applies to those uh, applicants or candidates that has working experience already. And this doesn't apply to those applicants who don't have working experience at all. Policy framework. The University of the Philippines system adopts a system-wide merit selection plan as basis for objective selection of candidates for promotion and other personnel actions. It provides a system that ensures fair opportunities for all qualified candidates to apply for vacant positions in the university. So basically, the basis of promotion in the University of the Philippines is all on the merit system. So any accomplishment is merited according to the promotion structure of the university. So it provides a common instrument for the assessment of the relative qualification of candidates to guarantee that merit and fitness principle is observed at its best in the selection process. It also provides a framework for individual career planning and development within the context of fair opportunities for advancement for all. Operating policies, the University of the Philippines hereby institutionalized merit and fitness in the appointment and career progression of its administrative staff by adhering to the following policies, rules, and procedures. So, the entire University of the Philippines system follows this merit selection plan. Now, appointment to all vacant positions in the university, either permanent or non-permanent, shall be on the basis of merit and fitness. As such, best efforts shall be exerted to reach out all candidates both from within the university and outside by way of publications, announcement, or other accessible media. So, in the merit selection plan, whether you are undergoing internal hiring or external hiring, all applicants have an equal opportunity in the merit selection plan. Whenever a career position in the first, second, or third levels becomes vacant, applicants for employment who are competent, qualified, and possesses all qualification requirements of the position shall be considered for permanent appointment to the vacancy. So, qualified applicants who have requirements, qualified requirements, shall be considered for the permanent appointment to the vacancy. Whenever a position in the first level becomes vacant, the employees in the department, college, or office who occupy the positions deemed to be the next in rank to the vacancy shall be considered for promotion. In the second and third levels, those who are career employees in the university system occupying next in rank position shall be considered for promotion to the vacancy. So this only implies that the first, second, and third level positions in the university follows the next in rank position next in rank position mechanism. So whoever is the next in rank shall be considered in the promotion unless there is no qualified for that particular position. The comparative degree of competence and qualification of employees shall be determined on the basis of the following criteria. Number one, performance. The last two performance ratings of the employee shall be used, valued 40% and 60% respectively, taken in the chronological order. However, no employee shall be considered for promotion unless the last two performance ratings are at least both very satisfactory. So actually, as I read this merit selection plan, it's just almost the same as the process used by the Department of Education. So if an employee would like to vie for a certain position, at least the performance rating for at least, because in DepEd we follow the 3 years scheme, so the last 3 years performance rating, so at least very satisfactory rating. But of course, if you would really want to buy for a position in the future, you would always target the outstanding performance rating for at least for all of your ratings. Next, education and training. This shall include educational background and the successful completion of training courses, scholarships, seminars, and others in excess of the minimum requirements of the position to be filled. Such education and training must be relevant to the position to be filled. Moreover, only training courses or seminars attended during the last 5 years may be credited for this purpose. So this is the reason why we should continually improve ourselves by attending different seminars, because in the long run, or if we plan to vie for a position, or if you have plans to be promoted in the future, um, majority of the government agencies, most specifically in CHED or in the Department of Education, they only credit 5 years back of all of the trainings that you have attended. So whether it's international, regional, or national training, so whatever is covered 5 years back upon your application to the position, that will only be credited to your application. Next, experience and outstanding accomplishments. This shall include occupational work, history, and experience in excess of the minimum requirements of the position, and accomplishments worthy of special commendation. A maximum of 5 years of relevant experience may be credited. Next in rank candidates shall be entitled to 100% of credible experience, while other candidates are entitled to 90% of creditable experience. So whoever is next in rank that will be considered for the position will receive or is entitled to 100% creditable experience, working experience in the application process. While on the others, if they are not considered as next in rank in the position, they will be credited with 90% creditable experience. Physical characteristics and personality traits. Now refer to the physical, social, and psychological attributes such as physical fitness, attitudes, and personality traits of the individual which must have a bearing on the successful performance of the functions of the position to be filled. So, um, in DepEd, uh, we do background check, or the selection committee do background checks for such um, part of the promotion for the characteristics and personality traits. But for the University of the Philippines, they consider this as part of the criteria already. But in the Department of Education, they actually follow it after the ranking process, or they conduct such thing after the ranking process. So it's good thing that in the University of the Philippines, they follow the process on the application process itself. Now, for potential, this takes into account the employee's capability not only to perform the duties and responsibilities of the position to be filled, but also of the higher and more responsible positions. So, they they are really catering those applicants who have a wide, or who have a big potential in carrying the responsibilities of the position that's being applied for. In cases where qualifications of candidates to vacant positions are comparatively at par, preference shall be given to the next in-rank employee, or to one who belongs to the organizational unit or constituent university where the vacancy exists, in that order. So meaning it the opportunity will always be given to the next in rank position, which is a good thing in the process of their on their hiring process. In the event of changes in the organizational structure of occupational grouping, the line of promotion shall be determined on the basis of the new organization or occupational grouping. So, in case that the university changes their organizational structure, then the promotion scheme will follow the new organizational structure. For consistent observance of the merit and fitness principle, the appointing authority may promote an employee who is next in rank but possesses superior qualifications and competence compared to the next in rank employee who merely meets the minimum requirements for the position. So, whether it is always emphasized that the opportunity will always be given to the next in rank position. However, if that person doesn't possess superior qualification, then whoever qualifies in that position will be given an opportunity to apply to that vacant position. Employees who are incumbent of next in rank positions who meet the qualification requirements for the position to be filled and who are on maternity leave or on scholarship grant, either here or abroad, or on sick leave for not more than 6 months, special detail, and on secondment without pay may be considered for promotion. So that's a good thing in the University of the Philippines because um, as far as I know, if my memory serves me right, in DepEd, if you are on leave or if you are studying abroad for that, whether it's that is for scholarship or you are on leave for personal matters, you are not to be considered in the promotion. But in the University of the Philippines, whether you are on the maternity leave, you are in abroad for scholarship program, or you are on a special leave for a special matter or personal matter, you can still be considered for a promotion. Now, for purposes of promotion, the performance rating of the employee for the last two rating periods prior to the maternity leave, scholarship grant, sick leave for not more than 6 months, special detail and secondment without pay, shall be used as the basis for promotion. Such performance rating should at least be both very satisfactory. So, in the case if that applicant is on leave but would like to apply for that position for promotion, so the previous two performance rating shall be considered for the hiring process. If this should take place, the effectivity of such promotion shall not be earlier than the official report for duty of subject employee. An employee may be promoted or transferred to a position which is not more than three salary pay or job grades higher than the employee's present position, except in very meritorious cases such as if the vacant position is next in rank is identified in the system of ranking positions or SRP approved by the President of the University of the Philippines, or the loan or entry level position indicated in the university's staffing pattern, or in cases of deep selection. We call this quantum leap. An employee cannot be promoted uh, with three higher salary grades of its current position. So, in civil service commission terms, they call it quantum leap. So, for example, in DepEd, if you are teacher 1 and you wish to be promoted as master teacher, so that is a 3 salary grade higher to your current position, then you cannot be qualified for that position. Same as well with the University of the Philippines. But except if it is permitted by the University of the Philippines or the president of the university, then that person may qualify to that position. Or if in case there's no other candidate qualified for that position and there is a loan or entry level position indicated, then that could be subjected for approval of the university president. Now, in our case, for example, in DepEd, there is no available position yet. Like for example, master teacher. We don't have master teacher in our school yet, and then all of us are, or at least one of us is qualified. Then it is the prerogative of the principal if that particular employee may be what do you call this? That our term is it can be, it can undergo not ERF. We call that, I forgot the term, but it is in the prerogative of the principal if he or she would like to promote that uh, employee, as long as the employee possesses uh, strong qualification for that position. The personnel committee shall use the same standards and methods of evaluating the competence and qualifications of all candidates competing for a particular position as prescribed in this UP Merit Selection Plan. Such standards must suit the requirements of the position and shall be used fairly and consistently. So, University of the Philippines really adhere to a fair and consistent uh, process for all qualified applicants. Promotion within 6 months prior to the compulsory retirement shall not be allowed except or otherwise provided by law. So if the employee is retiring within 6 months, then the employee is not qualified to apply anymore. Within 15 days from the notice of issuance of an appointment, a next in rank employee is competent and qualified or a candidate with superior qualifications who feels aggrieved by the position or by the promotion or appointment of the another may file his protest in the manner prescribed in the grievance procedure in the university under the following conditions. So, if the next in rank employee feels that he or she is aggrieved by the position, he or she may file a protest in the grievance committee of the university following the grievance procedure. First, non-compliance with the selection process. So, if the aggrieved employee feels that the the selection or there is a non-compliance in the selection process, then he or she can file the protest. Discrimination on account of gender, civil status, disability, pregnancy, religion, ethnicity, or political affiliation and other personal attributes of the individual. So that may be considered in the protest. 3. Disqualification of applicant to a career position for lack of confidence of the appointing authority. So, sometimes in that case, because indebted is really merely on the prerogative of the principal, but in the University of the Philippines, even though it's in the prerogative of the university president, if the aggrieved employee feels that um, the university of the or the president university president lacks confidence on him or on her, then he or she may file a protest or other violations of the merit selection plan. Thank you for listening, and that is for you, University of the Philippines Human Resources Development Office.